we're only streaming when I actually see the stream appear. Yes, we are streaming again. Okay, welcome to episode 31 of the live stream where we're coding up a small interpreter in C++. Interpreter's called NHB. Not that... Actually, is it called NHB? I cannot remember. Yes, there it is. It's NHB. So, last stream I was having broadband problems. I'm hoping they don't happen today. I've done nothing to fix it, other than allowed some time to pass. We've got roadworks nearby, so who knows. And the state of the UK broadband is a bit intermittent, it seems. We've never had much luck. Sometimes you phone them up and they're like, oh, you're on a bad server, we'd better move you. Could have moved us before. Other times you phone them up and nothing's wrong. And then you see people down there working all the junction boxes continuously. Are they called junction boxes? Fibre boxes? Junction boxes? Whatever they're called. The internet, the telephony network system boxes, the green ones. And I regularly see many of them being worked on. You would have thought they'd be quite used to it. You'd thought it'd be quite stable now, but it seems, nope, they need regular attendance. I suspect they're just swapping wires and making it worse for some and better for others. Well, I'm sure they're not doing that, but anyway. I also, so what time are we at? We're at 9:24. Not going to be a long stream tonight. I'm honestly struggling to remember where we were yesterday. Oh, we just reached the point where we needed to have a semicolon back in the language. We didn't insertion, automatic semicolon insertion, which really was just ignore the whole problem, wasn't there, wasn't working, so I went ahead and added back in a few little bits that we needed to make semicolons work. So if we go back to main, you will be able to see in here, if I hold down the mic key, everything has a semicolon now, and boy was that interesting. Glad I did it off stream, because watching someone put semicolons into about 100 lines of code is not fun. Now, we may revert back to doing automatic semicolon insertion. We may not. Maybe we'll decide to keep it. The trouble is I type semicolons so commonly that you certainly want an optional, because it's a pain to keep deleting when you accidentally put them in. And the point of the scripting language is that we don't want to cause more trouble. The idea is to make it flow as good as we can. So we have an optional. At some point, then people who are used to not typing don't type them. People who are used to typing can put them in if they want. Or maybe we could do the Rust thing where not having one means not having a semicolon. God, that was my London, my southeast accent coming out, not having one. I grew up in Kent, which is the southeast of England, and some parts of it have quite strong accents, particularly back when I grew up. Where was we? Particularly keen on the idea of like taking semicolons off means return the value if it's at the end of the code block. But maybe that will grow on me. When I say I'm not particularly clean, it usually means a week later. I really like it. So there we are. So what were we doing? There you go. Look at that. Everything looks so much more lined up. More could be on. The other thing we were doing was starting to look at this problem. Dereferencing the pointer. And then assigning to it. I actually haven't got a clue how I'm going to do that just yet. It's like the opposite of that. So we have to, really what we need to do is create an R value, an L value. Which I haven't actually given it any thought to. which is interesting. So R values are things that go on the right hand side of an assignment. Those are things that could be read but can't be assigned to. L values on the left, they are being assigned to but not read. Not at that moment, they're not read. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've given it no thought and have no clues. So this stream is going to be me pondering. But we currently have a type mismatch. Let's see. Definitely, we're just checking we've got everything right first. Address of that, DREF, type unknown, assignment. I think we've got some parser work to do. I think we've got a bit of thinking ahead of us. I think we might have a new function in a parser. Okay, sorry, to explain the problem that I'm seeing, because I just not need to explain things, otherwise there's no point streaming. So this is the printout of the AST. I put void as statement here to remind me, because these normally mean type and I kept forgetting that those guys are things. And what we've got here is, as a statement, we've got a DREF, which is incorrect. What we ideally want is the excitement to be the top level, so let me of course now that's going to be some more refactoring. So a DREF of a variable y. Is that coming through? Hopefully fine. So this forms L value and forms R value. Now, what's the problem here? God, that's really annoying. First of all, at the moment we store the left-hand side of the assignment in the parser as we've got the AST, we've got the assignment node, and in that is the str ID for the L value. First child is the R value, so the expression to be evaluated and assigned into Y in this case. But now we're saying L values can, so currently L values can be variables, but we're extending that to say they can also be dereferenced pointers, which no longer fits into the str ID. So guess what we're going to need? We're going to need a new node called L value. And that's going to, do we need a new node called L value, or do we don't need to call it L value? I think we just need to alter the assign. Is there any other place I should do that? I don't think there is. If there is, we can do it later. So a sign's going to have become a proper tree. So it's going to be a sign. A sign. Give me a sign that this is right. Probably not. And then we're going to have LHS. LHS equals lookup or DUF or something. There we go. That should do us. So with that in mind, we might be able to start some coding. How's the stream going? We appear to be uploading. We have got Amber Stream Health. Well, could be worse. Dear me, I'm slouching. How are we doing for time? 9:30. Okay, so let's don't write it on paper. Write it on the screen so people can see. First, we're not going to worry about pointers. We're going to do the refactoring. Change. Here we go. Test. Begin. Do they put check in these days? Push up? Oh, who cares? I'll put check in. Fix all the problems. Test. Reveal. I'm quite looking forward to when we get to the point that we've got a working code base, which I'm suspecting is going to be quite a few lines of code, but by working I mean an actual language that we can, you know, use. So anyway, change assigned to have 2 children in parser. It's going to be awesome. Then we're going to have to churn our way through all the changes, which hopefully will be brain off time. In the sense, when I say brain off, there's a bit of a history to that, because I'm not quite sure if it has negative connotations. Turn the brain off means, in my little crazy different world that others may or may not inhabit, it means you set up a system, you've done all the hardware, and now you've got to churn through the work. So you've done the thinking, and now it becomes, turn your brain off, just get on with it. If you don't need to think about it anymore. An example of this is, you know, when we add a new type to the AST, we get loads of compile warnings. So now we have to just turn our brain off, just go through each one and just fix them. The warnings are entries into the switch statements that we need to fill in. So it's not totally turn your brain off, but I don't need to think. I just go to the next one and I think about a small isolated bit of work to do. So it's simple. It for me originates from one of my lecturers, who a physicist. I did a degree in physics. It's a you would be solving solving some problem. I think this one was in particular an optics problem. The lecture, he did a lot of different lectures, but I think it was in an optics style one. And you know, we're setting up loads of drawing diagrams, because that's what physicists do all the time. Drawing diagrams, we managed to get out a collection of equations, and he just goes, now you turn your brain off. You use your maths knowledge, which we're not inventing maths, so there's no, you're just plodding through it all. 2 pages of derivations, out come the answer. But at that point, your training just, your mathematical training knowledge just kicks in, and you just run through it. Boom, 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 boom. You've done similar things a few times, so you just turn your brain off and let the knowledge that you've stored in your brain just solve the problem for you. And that's how a lot of coding should be, in my opinion. You should just, work with the type system to. And I'm not talking about complex type systems where you can do all sorts of type dependent programming. It's just simple stuff. Just an enum and a switch is proving remarkably effective in this code that we're writing. You've got something. Let's switch on. It's just case analysis, which a lot of programming is. Not all programming, but a lot of it is, and usefulness sort of. Sorry, I bit my lip. I did bite my lip. When you're doing other things, I mean, a bit less. If you're writing a game, probably slightly less case analysis in it than what we're seeing here. Interpreters and compilers and stuff are very much the ideal for it. But you can get a long way with it, and I'm ranting because I'm post Taekwondo training and not necessarily super productive. Anyway, right, what were we doing? Where were we going? What were we doing? Right, let's go. Other. Sign. Here we go, that's the guy. Now I think we have to add a new type, outlined identifier, but we don't have a variable called that, do we? What should we call it? Oh, we could use identifier, couldn't we? Is that even used? No. I did the wrong damn thing. Should we call it identifier? We could call it a variable, but it might not even be a variable. Someone could do something crazy like with a function. Yeah, and it kind of fits with that. That's good. Now we need to put that on as the first child, don't we? So stm first child equals ident. At some point this is going to turn me into parse. Actually, it's weird. I always put an R on the end of parse because I write parser so much, but I also found I put an E there in attachment, and it took a moment for me to type it. I'm detraining myself. Not when I'm writing, when I'm typing at speed, which is very often I do that. So it's A-T-T-A-C-A-T-E. In English, there's no E there. But there isn't anywhere else. Right, so that's A. Am I looking? There you go. No, getting to the wrong place. No, I'm not. That's fine. We're not going to pass an expression there. But we do want it to be consistent because we often put the let and a sign in the same thing. So now, let's see if I can go somewhere else. Here it is. Okay, variable lookup. Now, should we store a Stuart ID in there? It's handy to, but variable lookup. See, I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be moving a sign somewhere else actually. Turtle is not an expression. I've got to write that down because I've got a feeling. Review whether lookup needed. Why not just identify? And then we can change it to an FN call if we need to. Cool. Okay, I don't know if, well, nobody's really watching, but starting to see a bit of complexity leak through. We've not necessarily got the AST nodes precisely right, so maybe I'm expecting to start reworking some of these soon. So we're going through that, so you've got that now. good. So, but we don't want that. We want auto ident. Done that. We will, for now, take out the str ID equals 0. We don't want that used. Let's have something that looks vaguely like a dent. Then we do val slash first child equals ident. And then sibling equals that. So we've done, we have updated our assignment. Updated assignment and let, which is kind of an assignment along with that. So this should totally crash on us now. Yeah, you see. Now we've added a new identifier. So come on you, let's rebuild project. Oh, look at that 1.8 something. Where are we? That's one warning down. Print. That should do that. And I think identify as a special case. I'm not even sure it's going to be hit that much, but we should overload one of these with a type. Okay, and of course, we need a break. How we do time? Right. I got a feeling we're going to be leaving halfway. Whoa. One of the things I want to do is get this working. Rebuild. Let's see, where are some warnings? Function def. We will look up. solved. Propagate types. Well, it's not going to. We have a look at can. No, you're not going to propagate the type on it, so I don't think. Now let's actually go back to here and look at, we have a look up this fine if expressions. They need to propagate down the left hand side. May need some propagation. I'm not convinced this propagation thing is the best way to do it, but until I think of a better way, I will leave it at that. Right, type check. First of all, before we add the identifier, let's go find these guys, because these are clearly wrong. If you could type child first child. Ah, come on. Let LHS. The hell? Not convinced that that actually gives us much. IHS, first child, sibling. Okay, my head's obviously in how to tidy some of this stuff up. To do get LHS and get RHS functions. Function. Ooh, we're gonna have a big factor once we get pointers going, I reckon, to tidy up some of this first child sibling. Yeah. Check types, so we could, okay, propagate types, node, yeah, I'm good with that. Right, identifier. Well, the only thing it can do is, it's pretty simple, but I'll put it next to the deref, which is pretty complicated. Let's put it above that. Kind of clustering. Ooh, do we need that? Who knows? Return. You see why I moved the cursor up and back down again because, you know, I felt like pressing some keys. Node slash cinder. Node slash stid. So what I would say that we are observing at the moment is an awful lot of detail here, and it's there. Okay, I have a slight noise. Should I explain that? Yeah, why not? I have a weird thing where some smells I interpret as visually. These days I interpret it as a waveform, so a horrible smell is like a jaggy, you know, random, hence my visualising. So when I see something bad, I associate it with a bad smell, which means I associate it with a noise. When I was a child, when I first became aware of this, I associated smells and stuff with flowing water, so smooth flowing water out of a pipe going off into a river or something was a nice smell. But you put your thumb into the water and it goes bad smell. And so when I go something bad, and I assumed up until about a year ago everyone did it. It was only when I said something to someone and they were like, what? That I've realised that that's not what everyone does. But hey, you know, what did I know? It didn't really occur to me. I'm not really sure, I never really read into it. I assume the brain mixes signals onto the two of them, or how does it work? Who knows? But apparently most people don't. And, so anyway, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get across is when we look at this code, it's very noisy and the intent isn't clear to me. I can see what it's doing, but it's harder to read. All this, you know, indirections, fishing at things out of the ASD nodes. We should hide that. We should make it look a bit cleaner, which we will do once we get the assignment to pointer done. We'll write a few tests and then we will go ahead and just give the whole type analysis another run through and clean up. It won't be the last time we do it in the type analysis. I suspect we're going to do it quite often until we stop. And we're going on doing other stuff. But for now, where were we? We were doing this. We were doing the identifier, and that's good. You know, this. What would you rather have, that line or turn node? Right. Which one looks better? Clearly this line. Right. This line. Okay, the comment is telling me to do that. This line is noisy. This line is return lookup type. I can read it as English. You're returning the type that you look up. Anyway, right. Let's see what else we're doing. You know what? No, they all seem to have returns. So don't need to assign to the type, do we? Yes, we should. Because we might not have got that subsequent type check as we fill it out. Right. would say I would go with case. Oh no, done that wrong. Don't do that. So, yeah, I don't mind seeing it, but the thing I was like, oh, we never need that. Okay, so the symbol table has not been set on first child. I haven't checked whether first child exists. Symbol table. String ID is 0. Interesting. Where have we gone wrong? Let's go back to the parser. Zoom out. I'm sorry, I can't bear that. Sign. Where are we? Here you go, look at you. We didn't give you anything. Of course, you need actually. No, you don't need one. Some things are not happy. So we are thinking that's going to fail on us. Yes, there it is. It's failing. Variable x is not declared. We are declaring you. Just is not going into the... Okay. Probably have to go with not declared because it's hard to... Not declared. That is because we are using... Did we change the variable lookup? That's a good question. Cool. Some variable is not declared. Node. First child, siblings, string ID. Type unknown, that's fine. Symbol table. Why is symbol table null? Whoa. Shuffle of tables. Here, table entries. Parent. What isn't one? So we've got an entry. You're an int. You're not a pointer. It's not a function parameter. What else is there? Type is an int, not a pointer. But Can we do conditional breakpoints? Can we make this happen? Who knows? What time is it? 10 past 10. Condition. Oh, look at that. Well, that means I don't want to suspend. Yeah, let's see if it works. It didn't. Stupid symbols. Okay, that failed totally. So let's try again. So new entries, what do we want to know? String ID is 16. Main. F9. What have I done wrong? Yeah, we're doing 10 past 10, so what did I just look at? No, I didn't want to do that one. That's what I wanted to do. Definition, function definition. They're both in the function definition. Why would they both be in the function definition? I don't know about that. What have we changed? So the problem is I'm struggling to see. So the problem is that we don't have the symbol table, the X. We don't have the value, the identifier X in the symbol table. And I'm not sure why. I would have thought we were adding it in the let, but it's looking increasingly not likely. Why is it? What are we saying? Variable not declared. That's not right. Here you go. That's the little guy. Variable def. So again, we need to get the left hand side out, and we need to get the right hand side out. Stop and rerun. X is still not declared. What are we looking at? Node. First child should be an identifier, which is 11. Call me cynical, but that doesn't sound like the right number. Over here we've got a statement. We've got an identifier. Yeah, well that should be there. Shouldn't it? He says. Now at least we've got a tight mismatch. Call it what it is. Nope, it's not a statement. We're not doing that here. Well, it is a statement. So, got an assign token and what is going on? I'm loath to leave this because I know it's the first day and I'm probably not going to get back to streaming until a Sunday, which is a long time, and if I leave it I'll be reticent to get back into it, but also I said I was going to stream for an hour, so I don't want to. Alexa is a string ID identifier. This is a different error. Much as I don't like exceptions, having exceptions thrown an error means I can hook the debugger to catch exceptions and be taken straight to the error. Which honestly, not a bad thing. Oh no, because that's a full comparison, at least I can name them. Type mismatch, check types equal. Okay, let's have a look at what types we think we've got. We've got an unknown and an integer. Why is the LHS unknown? Because we're assigning it in the assignment rather than the child in the parser. Yeah, let's look at where we put the type. Type is in the statement. The statement. Here we go. We should still have a problem, but yeah, we've got a problem because we who knows what we're actually generating. Interpreter, let's have a look at what bytecode we're generating. That's going to be crazy. Why was that not working? What don't you like? Got a sec fault. Var def. Part of bytecode. First child. G. Sibling. First child. No. Right, and then you want to do this child. What's it complaining about? That's a very good question. It's wrong because good. We're probably going back here. You're not happy? Node is null. Sorry. Oh, I bet that echoed on the mic. If I'm going to do this a lot, I should probably get myself a better speaker, shouldn't I? Ooh, it's not good. Someone's not happy. Assign. You should not be 0. I'm good with. So that failed. The symptom failed because the first child was 0, but we need no wedge of the functional tests. It was running. Oh no, a big one. You know what? I sometimes am quite impressed with C-Line. Yeah, just sometimes. It does what it says on the tin. What I want to do is, I want the string ID, so who the hell knows what's going on? Okay, it's 10:22. I'm going to investigate this probably Sunday night. Oh, it's got a assembly view. Maybe that's how I should draw out my assembly bytecode. I look forward to doing some of that stuff. So we're partway through. Where are we? We haven't got it all working. So this is not working. Sad face, sad face. 2 extra braces. Yep, they highlighted the second sad face when we're good. No, they didn't, it was just because next to it. what are we doing? We are doing a little bit of refactoring to give make identifiers looking up, writing to, have their own node rather than piggybacking into an assignment, a let, and that sort of thing. The reason we're doing that is that when we're assigning now, we're moving away from just calling it a variable to calling it a class of types called L values. Is that the right terminology? A class of values called L values. And these have the property they can be assigned into. So normal variables can be assigned into, obviously, and the dereferenced pointer to a variable can be assigned into. Another example would be a slice or array index. So my array square bracket 1 close square bracket could also be treated as an L value. So we need the concept of L values in the type checker to say, can this be assigned to? That's what it's answering. And so eventually we're going to have a function, I imagine, called isLValue, and that's, you know, it's part of a maturing in type system that we're starting to add these things. And you can see where, you know, we just started throwing stuff in. Now we're starting to go, well, you know, we've start bringing some terminology in. We've got to start generalising some of the concepts we honestly didn't give any thought about. And then on the dref one, we have to do some work on the bytecode compiler, because what we're going to do is get the R value and write to the address. So we won't have a basic assign, we'll have assign to address there. I would imagine. I hadn't thought that through yet. Anyway, that is that. I'm going to call it a night. I want to have the urge to refire up some of my game dev stuff that I've been doing in the past. I was writing a little OpenGL render, but I've read a bit like this. I'd rather write rough code and get something working. So I'm going to have a go at setting up a bit of SDL. 2D renderer on OpenGL, and 3D will come later, but I think what I'm going to do is get myself a little framework up and running, write a tiny little game. I might just re-implement something I've done before, like a square block dodging thing. It's been a while since I've done any real proper game dev. Really, it's a demo, and in the sense of just seeing what we can get going. Once we've got that going, then I might start, you know, trying to rewrite the renderer and gradually improve things, but I want to get into the flow of creating a few things. NHB is still going to be my primary focus. I plan on streaming on that regularly. I'm going to do the setup for this little game off stream. I might start a new, what do they call them? Channel? No, not channel. Thing. What's it called? What's it called? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Group gone. Playlist for it. But I'm not sure. It's not going to be the most exciting development you've ever seen. I might try not streaming, just coding and uploading, but we shall see how it goes. And that's it. But anyway, I only want to spend 20 minutes just kicking up the project, getting STL, building, that sort of thing. Nothing exciting, nothing major, just a bit of fun. Okay, so we're going to call that a night, and I shall see you again.